Yo, what's good today? How everybody feeling out there? I got a question. I've been hearing all this commotion going on about the Congresswoman, newly elected Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. They said something about she made some anti-Semitic comments. Some say she didn't. Some say she did. But I'm looking at the bigger picture. Why is it that if somebody says something about if somebody says something negative about black people, it's no public outrage. It's no get him out of Congress or get her out of Congress. Steve King was in Congress for years making white supremacist comments. He just got removed this year, 2019. You got Trump making racial comments to degrade black people, calling black countries shitholes, uh, calling white supremacists good people, KKK and all good people. It's so much of an outrage when somebody says something negative about Jews. Now, this ain't no video going at Jew people or Jewish people. This is just what I see happening in our society today. It's amazing how black people are put to the forefront of everything when it comes to we're not put to the forefront. We're put to the back when it comes to racial equality, police brutality, and things of that nature. Discrimination, housing discrimination, the things that we're dealing with every day. Those things don't come to the forefront. You got congressmen, Congress people who don't want us to have anything positive. Like Trump has taken back half of the things that Barack Obama has did. He's reversed most of those things. But the thing that I'm looking at is this congresswoman said something that could be taken as disrespect toward Jewish people, and they're asking for her to be removed off of the committees or whatever. Republicans are, even some Democrats are. But my thing is, why don't those same people step up when it's something happened to black people? We can watch a video of somebody getting shot and killed by a police officer. No outrage at all. We need to let it go through the process. It go through the court. Of course, we know the cops is gonna get off because the bar is so high to convict them. If they say they are scared, then that's their way to get off, even though you can see that they ain't scared in the video. But I don't understand how it's the same people who are rallying and saying that Ilhan Omar need to be off the committee. What happened to them when Trump was saying all these things? When Steve King was repeatedly, year after year, bigging up white supremacists? Why wasn't no outrage then? I cannot wrap my mind around it, and I try to stay off of politics, being that I know politics are just like gangs. People are so they call it tribal. They so invested in there just because they are Republican, they don't want to hear nothing from a Democrat or vice versa. I'm not that type of person. I'm open to hearing both sides. I watch Fox and I watch CNN and MSNBC because I want to know the whole total package of everything. If you're just watching one thing, then maybe they're not telling you at all. But I see how often black people are often degraded. We are often put down, but there's no outrage about it. But then as soon as one person or somebody else says something about some anti-Semitic comments, or they on their back, then this is the question I like to ask. Did the Jewish community, did they go through something worse than the black community? Is it because Hitler did it across seas that they're looking at that as something to push up? But since it was done to us here in the United States, that's why they don't want to talk about it or put it to the forefront as much as they try to do everything else. Every other religious group, every other ethnic group besides Indians, Native Americans, besides those, black people and Native Americans get little to no love when it comes to the degrading and the policies against us. But then soon something happens to any Jewish person, or somebody says something about a Jewish person, or even somebody say something about a white person. Oh, it's outrage. You're starting racial. You're doing all this. Am I the only one that's seeing it this way? Please let me know. Have a nice day.